Either way, would you?
Yagami-san, they seem like RK.
I'd rather not have to bullshit them.
So, take them down?
Yeah.
Hang on a second. Let me get this opened up and running. Hi, Ron Moore. How's it hanging? What in the hoochie? What in the world was that? I meant to say hoochie coochie, but it just didn't come out that way, so whatever. Like a jacked up jackrabbit on Mountain Dew. What in the world? Is he like throwing stuff in my face? Wow, that's the first time I actually ever had an AI actually take out and finish a battle for me. That's amazing. ECW indeed.
Looks like the top floor is up ahead. There's a room on this side too, though. Might be worth checking out.
What the heck? See if we can find stuff. I'm tired of climbing. Move towards the thing. There you go. It's not rocket science. Alright, wait a minute. So it's showing me something in there. But it's showing something up there. Yeah, it made more sense. Come this way, get this. I don't know what that S is. Oh, save. Oh. Oh, well, I think that's the first time I've ever seen something like that. That's for sure. Yeah, just make a second save spot. That's no big deal. I don't think I've ever seen that on any mission that I've gone to where it shows a S for saving in a certain spot. I don't believe I ever have. Sacred Rot. That doesn't sound like anything that's very appetizing.
I wish we'd had some sign of Kawana-san, but maybe we'll still get lucky? Are you ready to go, Yagami-san?
Might as well, can't dance.
Yeah. Let's go.
I've amassed a good handful of games over the past few weeks, including,
Man, where is this fucking guy?
one that I just never finished, which is
forever.
Skyrim.
Yeah. It's not like anyone else is here.
So I'm really trying to
Think
take
the
it one
cops
step
got
at
it
a
wrong?
time to try to
Then what
finish
do we
certain
do?
ones up.
Keep looking? Is there a fucking point?
Seems like Kawana-san's giving them a slip. What's the plan now?
Let's find out what RK's gonna do when they catch Kawana. Are they planning to kill him themselves?
What, you gonna just stroll up and ask them?
Well, I only count 4 of them. So, 2 each. Piece of cake.
I guess.
Okay, let's go. Hello, gentlemen. Got a couple questions for you.
Huh? Who the hell are you two? You with the Kome jewel?
Wow, they don't even recognize you, Yagami-san?
Well, that's kind of sad.
What's going on here?
Oh, you got more. That was a bad idea, wasn't it, guys?
Yagami-san? I don't think it's just 2 each anymore.
Yagami! Hey, that's a detective from Kamurocho! A detective? Just get him! They're with Kitakata! Fuck yeah! Let's get it started. Hope you're ready to die! I've been waiting for this shit!
Let's go.
Everybody's gonna die. Or get knocked out or whatever. Why is it that it just like automatically changes fighting styles out of the blue? I don't understand that. That's weird. Awa! He just front flips. Man, I wish there was a way to like lock on, because it can get so hectic in some of these fights. It's like, dude, why is it that the AI is not attacking? I don't understand that. Is it because of the fact of the difficulty that I'm playing it on? That doesn't make any sense to me. It's stupid. Like, why are you even going to bother to have any AI assisting you if you're not going to allow them to actually attack on a regular basis? It's dumb. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, yeah, I get it. You're playing the game, but if you're going to have them there, you might as well let them be useful for crying out loud instead of just a story moment.
That all you got? I thought there were more of you guys.
Let's not jinx it, man.
Yeah, no kidding, dude.
You guys
already got more than you bargained for.
Right? What were you gonna do to him?
We were just told to catch him. Not sure what comes after that.
You sure the plan wasn't to kill him?
I said I don't know!
Delnicia Gray, welcome to the stream. The same game? I think it probably is. What were we playing the last time? This may have been one of the streams that you came in on. I think it was Lost Judgment, where you're playing as a detective and there's action fighting oriented combats and weird side quests to go on and you're solving mysteries.
Who gave the order here? Soma?
It was Akusa-san. Probably on Soma-san's orders, though.
Hey, Yagami-san?
So there's technically 2 routes for me to go. I wonder if the same thing would have happened.
Hey, how come Ijincho has so many creepy masks?
Yeah, no kidding,
I was
dude.
just gonna ask you.
Kuwana's not here.
Huh?
That intel was
He
fake.
said, huh, uh-oh.
We were the ones who put it out.
You live here? Then you must be Komicho.
His lips weren't even moving.
Normally, it's us hiring the handyman. But this time, it was Kuwana asking the favor.
Huh? To put out false information?
Yes. He said he wanted to see what kind of enemy he was dealing with, and how they'd respond to an eyewitness report. Seeing as how easy police info made its way to these thugs, I'd say he was wise to use caution.
Mortal Kombat. I used to be a big Mortal Kombat fan back in the 90s when I was a kid because fighting games was one of my go-to genres, but nowadays it's just not. I mean, I've got some of the Mortal Kombat games for sure, but yeah, I don't really play them, I guess, unless I have other people to kind of play with, but I kind of backed off a lot from fighting games. If I ever get any fighting games, if they pique my interest, I wait until they're like dirt cheap, usually, like under $20. And hopefully by then I can probably find one that has all the dag-blasted DLC characters.
Were he any closer, he would have been ensnared by now.
So Kawana's nearby, watching everything unfold as we speak? He's really in Ijincho then?
We'll have to clear the room to discuss.
I'm much more of an RPG guy. That's like my favorite genre. My main genre.
That.
Hey! Why are you looking at me?
Sorry.
Well, probably should have
As
done
you
that
said,
beforehand.
Kuwana's return to Ijincho. There are benefits to being here that only he can exploit.
Where's he hiding out?
Under the protection of Tesso from the Yokohama Ryomon. But you're cleared to see him. We already took care of that.
Kawana actually said he'd meet us?
Come on. There's a way through the cops don't know. You can get out to the city from there.
That'd be helpful, thanks.
Guess you're not so bad after all.
Bear in mind, you may not leave alive if you come back. You are never welcome here.
And never mind.
Well, at least he's giving you a shot. I actually had been waiting to see if I could get Mortal Kombat Aftermath, that whole expansion to Mortal Kombat 11, like really cheap. Which obviously I'd want to get the physical version, knowing how I am. But I just haven't gotten around to getting it. The cheapest I've ever seen it, I think, has been like $20. And like I said, if I'm going to get a fighting game, it'd have to be 20 or less. So I may.
So, where do we find Kuwana-san?
Jump on it at some
I'm
point.
sure the Liuma will lead us to him. Just so happens I've got a brother there named Tesso.
Oh, what?
Now let's get there before Kuwana changes his mind.
Okay. Let's look into a few of these these thingies first. Not really worried about the boost grip. It doesn't seem like it drains fast enough for me to even worry about that. No, can't do that. And we'll do this. Give me another move to work with. That's all I really deal with right now. Alright, so... Well... No real reason to try to take any type of cab if it's like right over there. So... I'll get, what all games that I play? Well, I mainly stick to, that was a cheap shot. I mainly stick to like third-person games or third-person shooters or action games or RPGs. I'm not a fan of like all RPGs, but dude's just standing there watching me beat these guys up. That's hilarious. Oh wow, they got guns now. Yeah, hit the pole while you're at it.
What a waste.
But yeah, any like obviously I like action RPGs. I like turn-based RPGs. Not really a fan of strategy RPGs, but you know how games are nowadays. They mix and match so many different genres nowadays. It's hard to really pinpoint one particular genre on any one game, it feels like. Which I think is interesting, you know, as long as you can make the mechanics work properly. But, yeah, third-person action, third-person shooters, third-person RPGs, or first-person RPGs, or first-person shooters, you know, what have you. Action-oriented style. I mean, I do like some platformers, like 3D platformers. Like, I really want to play the new Psychonauts, but I'm going to wait until that's, like, half price, if not cheaper, because even though I've got the first one, I hardly got very far into it, and I'm like, I'm not going after this second one if I didn't spend that much on the first.
Tesso-san told me to let you in.
Yagami Aniki?
Will you be coming inside?
That's funny. I think Aniki is like teacher or leader in Japanese. Well, sensei is teacher, but I think Aniki is like something like that. Anyways, from what I can remember from the previous Yakuza games. Slime Rancher. My fiance actually has Slime Rancher. I thought about getting it off of PSN. I think the cheapest I've seen it on there has been $6. I do have the first Subnautica. I haven't put too much time into it. Kind of wanted to try the second one out, but I've never really been a person for crafting kind of games. I mean, yeah, there's crafting in different types of games nowadays, and I guess it depends on how it's handled to determine whether or not I want to do it or if I have to do it and stuff like that. But it's not really like a go-to genre of mine. Kind of irks me a little bit of having this and this and this to make this and this and that. I mean, I've played Chernobylite, which does have crafting in it, but kind of seems like it's a little bit more of a streamlined crafting thing, considering I'm playing on easy mode with it, and so it's easier for me to kind of get into and dole out, if you will.
Sure, let me pass.
This way, please.
Jolly Rancher, there you go. That is one of the greatest candies ever, and I hate the fact that they have dulled the tangy taste to it. Like, Jolly Ranchers are still good, and they have their taste to them, but they had a little bit more of a kick to them, I think, like back in the 90s and early 2000s, and nowadays it just seems like it's dulled. Yeah, Jolly Ranchers are great, though.
Bro, hey man. Welcome back, friends.
Tesso Aniki? Do I have to call you that?
Take a seat. And you too, buddy.
This'll be
Yeah.
fun.
As soon as you know I'm against RK, you want to be all buddy-buddy with me after you tried to kill me 2 previous times.
And which of your
Apparently.
names should we be using for you now? Kawana? Or do you prefer Kitakata-sensei?
Kit Kat.
Kitakata's a name that's been all but murdered by society. And in Jincho, I'm just a merry old handyman Kawana-san.
If
Smoking
you
my
ask the
e-cig.
cops, you're the murder suspect, Kitakata. After killing Sawa-sensei, you fled the scene. At least, that's the story the police top brass are passing down through the ranks. Now, why would they say something like that about you?
That's a
Calm
mystery.
down, Yagami. How come you never relax?
So
Switching
Kawana
around
hired you
cutscenes.
guys from the start, and you pretended to not know each other in front of me? If that's the case, you really went all out for me.
Didn't I tell you? The Liumang accepts anonymous
Dino games, if you're talking about Dino Crisis back on the PS1, then yeah, I dig those, but I've heard about like that Ark game. I had another friend of mine that was playing it that really got into it, and my fiance tried to get into it when she was messing around with it on PC, but I just never really bothered with it myself. Maybe I might see how it is when it's like dirt freaking cheap or something, but ultimately, you know, besides Dino Crisis 1 and 2 on PS1, nah, not really.
requests too. Tesso didn't know I was the one who hired him. I suppose there's no point in hiding that now.
That's
Yeah.
just how it is.
That's what I've
Nothing to
heard.
get mad over, bro.
It's definitely got a lot of attention,
Really
that's
aren't
for sure.
hiding anything? Did you tell him all you've done?
He's a former high school teacher who's going around killing bullies. Can't be much more to hide than that. Need any more convincing?
Honestly, I'm at a loss. I worked my ass off to get where you are.
And I'm still trying to untangle the mess you've made of it. You've got my student helpers by the throats. So I'm really backed into a corner here.
You mean the graduates from Kurokawa Academy?
His voice
Like
changed.
Mamiya-san?
Very good, Sugiura-kun. So how about it? No reason for us to doubt each other's intentions, right? All the secrets are out in the open now.
Fine. Then I'm gonna light up.
You were just over at Komijul, weren't you? RK was looking for me there. The police even lent them a hand.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm even more confused. I give up. Who in the world could be after me? Who has influence over both RK and the police?
Care to venture a guess?
They'd be the uneducated guesses of a handyman. You got any bright ideas?
Yeah, I messed around with Fortnite, like, you know, I think maybe about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, something like that, with an ex-friend of mine and my fiance, but, you know, it was fun for what little time we put into it, but then we just stopped because it just got repetitive and whatever. It didn't really grab my attention. But, yeah, I guess maybe at some point I'll give Ark a shot, and I don't really care about Call of Duty because to me it just seems like it's the same thing year after year. The only thing that I've ever really messed with that series is when they got dirt really, really cheap, I would go and play the campaigns because they were like, you know, huge Hollywood action movie blockbusters. That would be the only thing that I would ever play on them because that's the only thing I ever cared about with them. But ultimately, you know, that whole multiplayer aspect of it, nah, that type of multiplayer doesn't garner my attention. Yeah, if I play anything multiplayer, I don't really like too much competition in it, I guess you could say. Working with other players I'm for, but when it comes to like competition, you know, it's give or take kind of. It depends on what the game is. Like Dead by Daylight that me and my fiance streamed this past weekend, you know, that's one aspect, you know, especially considering we were playing with each other, because the only reason I got the game at half price was to play with her and like another friend of ours if they ever get it, but ultimately otherwise I wouldn't have gotten it.
He is yourself, Master Detective?
I haven't confirmed it for sure yet, but I have a pretty good theory for you.
Oh? Who?
Red Knife, as in RK, the thugs from Kamurocho.
I know they're after me, but who's backing them? Why is Kanagawa PD letting them run amok?
Right. The real issue is who's behind RK.
Don't leave me hanging. You know something, don't you?
Dadgummit. Well, I guess I missed out. Luckily you don't fail anything.
The Public Security Division. That's what a detective from Kanagawa PD said. According to them, you're the prime suspect in Sawa-sensei's murder. That's why Kanagawa PD was told to lay off RK. Any trace of RK...
Like playing games where the character can be blindfolded with dental floss. RKO, yeah, there you go. Yeah, that works. Blindfolded with dental floss. What?
And the footage near Sawa-sensei's place is gone. Likely public security's work. And with that kind of backing, it's understandable why RK is so confident.
Yo, hold up again. Why is public security after Kuwana in the first place?
I can't remember all this because I was listening to music at one point of me actually playing a certain story part, so luckily you don't fail any of this.
They might be trying to protect the prosecution's reputation.
Huh? What do you mean?
Kuwana fabricated a sexual battery and got a guilty verdict out of the prosecution. And that was used as an alibi for Mikoshiba's murder.
Japanese games. Okay. How do you get blindfolded with dental floss, though? That I don't know.
If that goes public, the prosecution's reputation will be in ruins. That's why public security needs to silence Kuwana quietly.
Oh.
You think public security would go through all that to protect the prosecution's rep?
Okay. Can't say I'm really feeling that either.
Yeah. I'm starting to have doubts myself.
Oh wait, that was a race joke, wasn't it? Well, oh man, I get it. No, yeah, I know what you're saying. I get it. I get it. Well, I like all, well, you know, Western or Japanese.
This is all to preserve RK. Public security doesn't want them to disappear. That's why they're trying to close the book on the case by saying Kuwana killed Sawa-sensei.
But why?
In Kamurocho, with the Tojo clan disbanded, ex-Yakuza are scattered all over the place. RK has absorbed them into their network, and public security is monitoring them to keep the peace.
Then why is RK after Kuwana?
I was trying to pay attention to this. I didn't really get what you were saying until I had a tendency to think about it, because I was trying to pay attention to this.
Ana-san, was public security already helping them at that point?
Huh? Well, I'm not too sure.
Come on. We're screwed if we can't figure this out.
Right. Give me a sec to think. Public security is probably working for Reiko Kusumoto, Vice Minister of the Ministry of Health.
What?
Well, you know, it's got a lot of story to it, so you know, there's a building crescendo of story-related stuff. So,
Kuwana, you had your students kidnap Shinya Kawai, right? 5 years ago in Kamurocho? Kawai bullied Reiko Kusumoto's son, Mitsuru-kun. That painted a target on his back for you. But before you took Kawai out, You approached Reiko Kusamoto with your revenge offer, didn't you? Ahara told us that. Before taking revenge on a bully, you'd approach the family about it first. Did you make the same offer to Reiko Kusamoto?
What if I did?
She's the Vice Minister of the Ministry of Health. She's pretty popular.
Yeah, he's like a reverse pineapple.
She's even cleaning up her predecessor's mess. If it were to surface that she agreed to a revenge killing, they'd have yet another massive scandal on their hands. And if you get to go down in cuffs instead of a body bag, that detail may just come out. Before that can happen, Reiko Kusamoto plans to
have me silenced and use public security to do...
That reminds me, we got some other pineapple in the refrigerator. I need to get some more of that today. I friggin' love pineapple, dude. It's like one of my favorite fruits.
Exactly. Except public security can't just go after you. So they subcontracted RK to do the dirty work. That would explain why public security is trying to cover for RK.
I see. Well, the logic starts off soundly enough.
Something wrong with it?
Unfortunately, yes. Something does stick out.
And what's that?
I did, in fact, approach Kusamoto-san 5 years ago about taking revenge on Shinya Kawai. And just as you said, I used Mamiya-kun and the others to kidnap Kawai.
And?
From that point on, Kusamoto-san knew I was directing Mamiya-kun and the others. She'd seen their faces, knew their identities, everything. So, if Kusamoto-san wanted to go after me, Mamiya-kun and the others would be first on the list. But the fact is, public security hasn't laid a finger on them, even now. Which means, Kusamoto-san isn't the one giving them orders.
Sure, that makes some sense.
Hey, so sorry if this is off topic, but what was Kusamoto-san doing when Shinya Kawai was killed 5 years back?
She was standing right there with me.
Alrighty, man.
She took 3 days of PTO, and that was a first for her.
Why?
Shinya Kawai died at the hands of Kusamoto-san. She drove the knife into his chest personally. She took it slow, making sure he suffered the whole time. Just like Akihiro Ehara, she avenged her son with her own 2 hands. I admire her.
She killed Kawai herself?
Afterward, she told me she'd never wash the smell of his blood off her hands.
Damn, man.
I was the only one who knew that, by the way. The others have no idea. On that day, 5 years ago, I sent them straight home after they brought me Kawai. And I was the only one with Kusamoto-san when she killed him.
This sounds way too crazy to be real.
Even so, the fact is, Kusamoto-san hasn't betrayed me. Besides, I doubt the Vice Minister is powerful enough to order public security around.
Then who is giving them their orders?
Well, I'd say your theory's on the right track. I'm sure public security contracted RK. It lines up with what's happened so far. I imagine they're so persistent because they know I can be used against Kusamoto-san.
Either way, whoever's pulling the strings is someone who'll benefit from your capture. So if it isn't Reiko Kusamoto, maybe it's one of her enemies?
An enemy?
Yeah, like someone within the Ministry of Health. Or maybe even some kind of political rival. Nothing would be more valuable to them than dirt on Kusamoto, right? They're probably trying to take her down. Or they could threaten and manipulate her as they see fit. Is that why public security's been taking action? If they wanted to take her down, they could have had the police investigate her fair and square.
Right. Kusamoto-san can walk away from the Ministry of Health anytime she wants. Plus, she has the public's support, especially with the younger crowds. All just more reasons for her to have enemies.
I read some article about how even the Prime Minister has a hard time with her. Like, she'll get up in his face every time he signs an order. Dumbass loses so many arguments, he practically works for her now.
So the Prime Minister's trying to find some dirt on Reiko Kusamoto?
He's just an example. Weren't you listening when we said Kusumoto-san has lots of enemies in her position?
Hey, don't be a dick.
So whoever's behind this may have been looking for a weakness in Kusumoto-san for a while. They must have got their start after realizing Ehara's case was really about getting revenge on a bully. That puts Ehara and Reiko Kusumoto in the same boat, being that their only sons were bullying victims. And if they discovered that Kawai also vanished 5 years ago...
Regardless, that wouldn't account for the rest of the incidents where a bully ended up dead. You'd know. You're the one going up and down the whole country killing them off, aren't you? Kawai makes number 7.
7? Damn, man.
It wouldn't take much to connect the dots. It'd lead straight to her. Reiko Kusumoto. Then they'd know that she was among the victims who got her revenge.
Yeah. And then, to Ehara's case. The link between him and Kusumoto is clear as day now if you know what you're looking for. That link... Sawa-sensei. It took me a while, but I connected the two cases together myself. It was RK. She never should have even been on their radar. In fact, they traced your name from her. Sawa-sensei knew. She suspected you were involved with the Mikoshiba murder in one way or another, right? You don't care. You see your killing spree on these former bullies like you're doing the country a service. In your eyes, this is vengeance. Actually, no. You'd call it justice, wouldn't you? Except... Sawa-sensei wouldn't have died if it was.
That was never my intent. She shouldn't have died.
No. You don't get to just brush her off like that. Like an afterthought. You had to have known you'd go down for this eventually. And you're fine if all your old students like you and Mamiya go down with you. By then, why would you look back at your trail of blood? Why would you clean up all your carnage? It's not your problem, right? You move forward with one purpose. Send as many bullies to hell as you can. Beyond that, you don't give a shit what happens. Sawa-sensei died in tears. You didn't see what I saw. The fear she must have felt was still frozen on her face. You, Ehara, Reiko Kusumoto, you're all murderers. And so far, all of you have gotten away with it. So why did Yoko Sawa end up having to pay the price? Tell me, will you even be able to look her in the eye when you die?
I doubt it. That's gonna follow me well into the afterlife. So what now, then? March to the cops and turn myself in?
You should. If you don't do exactly that, no one will know why she had to die. And that'll be the end of her story. Everyone will keep on dancing around her death, even though she was completely innocent. Just like the cops are doing.
Afraid I can't do that. If I turn myself in now, there's only one thing that happens. Public security takes me out. And worse, Reiko Kusumoto would be compromised. And that, I will never allow to happen. Of all the people involved in this, she deserves to walk free. Her revenge was justified.
You think so?
All she did was scrape off the scum of the earth that pushed her only son into an attempted suicide. She didn't sit around crying about a legal miscarriage. She took justice into her own hands. No one has any right to indict her for that. So don't go there. Nobody lays a finger on her.
Hey, skinny ginger kid. Looks like this is gonna turn into a little more than a chat.
Good thinking.
So is your plan to kill me too? Anyone who interferes with your justice? We all get added to your body count, don't we?
The punishment fits the crime. You're just blind. If you can't see that, then you can go to hell!
Go to hell and you die.
Stay out of my way!
Ugh. Find him again. Holy macaroni. Oh, he's doing the stinky thing. Wah! Wah! That one. Running DDT, flipping DDT actually. Holy macaroni. What in the world? Get up, stop being loosey-goosey. Hit the wall. Welcome back, Flapjack. I was actually thinking about streaming Genshin Impact today, but I still got to get used to a few little things to see what's what. So I may end up doing that some this weekend, considering they've updated a lot of it since then.
How long has this been going now?
I lost track.
Call it?
Nah. They're gonna tire out eventually. Beating the shit out of each other is the way some people communicate.
I can see that.
There we go. Now let's stop them.
It's about that time.
Haven't you had enough yet?
What? You think it's time to give it a rest?
Hell no. Stay out of our way.
You're not looking so hot.
You got lucky I stopped when I did, you know. I had a move lined up with your name on it.
You're the one who got lucky as far as I'm concerned. I was about to kick your ass.
What a fucking mess, guys.
Good grief. Oh! Oh, it's the dude from Like a Dragon. He was in your team.
Hey, both of you, eat. Your food's getting cold.
Holy crap, they actually bring a guy from
One of our higher-ups cooked this
one of the
himself.
Yakuza games for that.
Look good if there's any left.
Yeah,
Not a
because he's
problem. This stuff's great.
part of the Comey Jewel.
Delicious. Man, this is the good stuff.
So that means Reiko Kusamoto could be being targeted by public security.
Right. It's possible part of the police wants to catch me as leverage against Kusamoto-san on public security orders. But that's only if public security really is behind this. You're the one who said you got that info from a cop.
Well, someone up top's been putting pressure on the investigation. That much is clear. But no matter how you slice it, the fact that you're enemy number one while RK roams free is absurd. Unfortunately, all I got out of that cop was that public security itself is who we're up against.
Public security is Japan's top intelligence agency. If they're after you, there's no escape.
Agreed.
Then I guess now's a good time to make a suggestion.
Huh?
Tell me, Who benefits the most from you two fighting? Huh? That'd be public security. The more you drag each other down, the easier they'll be able to get the jump on you. By the time
Alrighty.
you notice, it's too late. They got you. And that's exactly what they'd want, right? But what if you two work together? You watch each other's backs and act before RK and public security do. You might even be able to find out who's pulling the strings.
Huh. Yeah. For two enemies to join forces, there needs to be an even greater threat to fight.
Sure. I'm on board with that.
Fine, but this is only temporary. Once we finish with public security, I'm gonna make sure you answer for what you've done.
Okay. Then where do we start? Should we just storm public security at this point?
No. First, we need to confirm public security is really the enemy we're after.
Right. We'll make our move after that.
We have the element of surprise. They have no idea we're working together.
Then we'll use it to our advantage and outsmart them.
Aw, look at the boys playing nice.
If public security's trying to find some leverage against Kusumoto-san, they'll likely be listening in on her. They're the experts in wiretapping and espionage, after all. We just need a quick confirmation.
How?
We'll just give her a call.
Right here?
Yes. That way, her enemy will trace the call and pinpoint our location. And public security is the only one in Japan who can pull that off, so we'll know right away if it's them.
Good thinking.
Yeah. Wait, hold up! You saying if you call up Reiko Kusumoto, then the bad guys will start pouring in? Can we maybe not do that here?
Actually, that might just work in our favor.
Huh? Bro, why are you talking crazy?
Yagami-san, you sure about getting on bro terms without Kaito-san? Wouldn't that bum him out?
Whoa. This is amazing. What is this?
Good shit, huh? You've got good taste, bro. I knew you of all people would notice the difference.
Kuwana, when was the last time you spoke to Reiko Kusumoto?
I forgot the guy's
5
name,
years ago,
but he was
on the
pretty
night she
sweet.
killed Kawai. We arranged it, so we'd never contact each other after that.
So you have her number then?
If it hasn't changed.
What is it then? I have an idea.
What?
He had this snake-like fighting style that he would use with a sword. He was like one of the main characters I think I would have in my party.
We're gonna set a trap to find out if we really are up against public security. If they trace the call and they send people for us.
But then again, that depends on what class you would put him in, because you actually have job classes that you can utilize for each character in that game.
Then we know for sure it's them. That's why we're gonna call Reiko Kusumoto using a location that doesn't exist at all.
How's that work?
We'll use 2 phones that can't be traced back to us, and we'll relay your voice. Obviously you won't be wherever we do this from. Best to do this someplace with no one around. Once we see who they send in, mission accomplished.
Wait, what's happening?
Don't worry, I got it. You'll catch up, Sugiura-kun.
First, we need to know our enemy. I'll have Tsukumo prep us some burner phones.
Which means a truce for the time being?
Only while you're here. Gotta keep things civil for my brother.
Man, Zhao-san's cooking makes even the suckiest situations not suck.
Okay, that was his
Cheers
name.
to that.
Zhao, yeah. Obviously, something happened at the end of that game for him to start working in a restaurant. I can't remember if he was doing
so
that.
Tsukumo-kun's already got the phones ready.
To
They're
begin with or
burners that
not.
can't be traced back to us.
2 of them, right?
Just like you asked for.
Nicely done, Yokohama 99. You'll work quick.
Okay, folks, and with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream now. I need to go ahead and get a little something to eat and chill out for a bit before I head into work. But with that being said, I'm actually going to... I'll be back tonight with something, probably. And we'll just see what happens from there. I may be back with this because I think this might be one of the games in this stack of games I got over here that I could probably finish sooner, I would think. Maybe give or take, not really sure. But anyways, later, Bader. Anyways, I'll go ahead and end this like I always do. Later, taters. Alright, there we go. Here we go. That was a fast one. That wasn't a long one. That's what she said.